Welcome to OAPC College University. Topic of discussion today is who and what is Satan? Now, in order to answer this question, the first question to ask is how many Satan do we have? Is there one Satan or are there two Satans? The answer to that is there are millions of Satan, many millions, uncountable, billions of Satan out there today. Satan is a title, it's more of an attribute that contributes to humans and angels. So a Satan can be described from human point of view and angel point of view. In other words, any human or any angel can be a Satan. The question is, why is that? That's because of their character. They continue practicing evil, and that's how Satan come about. So we have billions of Satan out there today, millions of them, uncountable of them. Now, in reading Oapsi decode the true meaning of Satan, which means those who have self in them, self-desire, self-glorification. That's the meaning of Satan. They strive, they continue to want to be a leader. They continue to want to be against the will of the Creator. They don't want to follow the commandments of the Creator. Those are Satan. Satan is just no one being or one angel sitting in some type of throne and then controlling humans. No, Satan is a title for those who refuses resurrection. Satan are those who refuse to follow the commandment of the Creator. Satan are those who stopped the education that was given to them to continue to rise from first resurrection heaven to second resurrection heaven and to third resurrection heaven. Satan are the self-glorified gods and goddesses that brought doctrine to humankind and told us to follow and accept the laws without questioning it. Those are Satan. Satan can be described in another form when you read Oapsi. Another level of Satan is when an angel or human create a group of evil spirits or evildoers and become their leader or a leader, then you're Satan. Now, in the book of Osiris, a question was asked that Satan is those who opposes the great spirit. The great spirit is the creator, Jehovah, Jehovah, whatever people profess it. But if you oppose the creator, then you're Satan. Now, a perfect example about how to get a proper understanding from OASI point of view is there's been a bunch of examples that were shown in OAPSI. One part how we show it from my point of view from reading OAPSI. Now, a perfect example is a country who has a leader, and all of a sudden, some other leader or some person or human being decides, you know what, I'm not going to follow this leader anymore and decides to take over the leadership. That's a perfect example of Satan because that person says, you know what, I'm no longer going to follow your commandments or your ways. I'm going to follow my way. So I'm going to create my way. Those are Satan. So when you really look at it, we've got millions and billions of Satan, and we still have them today. Satan is just a title, and that title is just saying, is really saying that those who want to be a leader, who strive, who continue to be a leader, those who have self-desire in them and have refused to follow the will of the Creator, those are your Satan. Satan is just not a human being or spirit or an angel that sits in, you know, in somewhere in heaven, and then he gives order, or he enters your soul or your spirit like the popular believers. That, when you commit a sin, oh, that's Satan. Satan has entered you. No, anyone, any human being, any angel, any spirit today that refuses to follow the ways of resurrection that's been given down to us by the Creator, or Satan. Now, another example of a Satan would be those who went uh, to God in paradise and say that, what have we gained from everything we've been doing for the past 1,000 years? A perfect example was given in the book of Extra. And these three angels decided, you know what? They went to sit among themselves and they started talking on what best way for them to serve the Creator at that time. And they end up saying that, that the Creator is void. And they say, you know what? We're going to create our confederacy. And they created their own confederacy. So that's a perfect example of Satan. They said they're not going to follow the ways of the Creator anymore. And they decided to follow their own way. So they created their own law. It's no different from what we get today in religion. People follow their own way. When you look at the entire religion system, none of them are following the ways of the Creator. That's because when you go to one religion, one person tells you this, and then you go to another religion, the other person tells you this. None of them are telling you the same thing. It should be the same thing. So when they're not telling you the same thing, that's Satan. So Satan comes from our behavior, or our character, how, if we don't follow the will of the Creator. And when you read OAPC, you get a couple of examples and a lot of examples. Now the question might come, oh, but wait a minute. So what is all this Satan thing we keep on hearing every time? Now, the best way to describe this Satan character that people keep on talking about has to do with a particular angel by the name Hanu Hasaj. He probably would be the best description we could describe to say he was Satan. But does that mean that other human beings or other angels or spirits cannot? They can do the same thing. In fact, they've had angels that even did worse than what Anu Asaj did. About 7,000 years ago, Anu Asaj decided he was not going to follow the Creator's will no more. So he decided to leave, and he said the Creator was void. And he took it upon himself to make himself the Creator. And he said he was going to be the Creator. And he announced himself the Creator. And then he became a false God. And he had other angels that followed him. One of those names is Osiris, Baal, Astaroth, Hanubai, and other angels that followed them. But these were the main characters, main angels that actually followed Anu Asaj. Now, you could say that that's your definition of who Satan is. But in reality, what Anu Asaj did, we've had other angels did it. And in our world today, you have humans doing the same thing, exhibiting the same character. So Anu Asad is not only Satan, you have other people who can do the same thing that Anu Asaj did. So this video was really to show and explain to people what and who Satan is, and who and what Satan is. Satan is no more than a title that's given to any human being, any spirit, or any angel that refuses to follow the will, the commandments, of the Creator, and they choose not to follow that, and they choose to follow your own will, and saying they're not going to follow that. That's Satan. So if you exhibit that character, then you're Satan. So as of today, if you're to calculate how many Satans we've had or we have today, you can count them. The millions, billions of Satan out there. Humans, millions of them. Angels are billions, because the angels, when they cross over, when a human being died today and crosses over, eventually that human spirit becomes an angel. And if that human had died practicing evil, then that person automatically will continue practicing evil, because your character that you have, that you practice during your human life, during your mortal life, continues in the spirit world. And then you continue exhibiting that same evil character. That's how people continue practicing evil, and they become Satan. The Satan in the mortal world, and then they took it to the spirit world and continue practicing Satan. So Satan is not one angel sitting somewhere in heaven and controlling people, or sitting somewhere in hell like other people, or popular believers. No. Anyone that refuses to worship the Great Spirit, that refuses to worship the Creator, the ever present, that's Satan. So Satan, human beings exhibit and have the character of Satan. Angels do, spirits do. So if you refuses to follow the will of the Creator or the commandments of the Creator, then you're Satan. Another question might come in the future. But what is all these evil spirits doing in our world? Now, consider this. They once lived on our planet, and the only planet, the only world, the only place they remembered was planet Earth. So they come back because they stay attached to this world. So they have to come back. And so they continue exhibiting. Now, is there any solution to what all these evil spirits do in heaven and they do to? Yes. They just have to resurrect themselves. Or sometimes, occasionally, you have angels of Jehovah, angels of the Creator, that we help them out and try to lift them up. If they listen, then that's their own account. The Creator, the Creator's angel just leave them and let them be, and let them continue practicing what they're practicing. But eventually, at the end of the day, they will still resurrect themselves if they enter education, or they find some ways to kind to lift them up. There's a perfect example in the book of Fragapeti, where a group of angels were molesting humans in XYZ, and the best thing for Fragapeti to do at that time was to create a subjective heaven for them, so that they could educate themselves and kind of like take them out, so that they don't keep on going back to humans or spirits, and create knobs and stuff like that. So there are different ways to kind of curb all these evil spirits and all these satans out of and if you look at heaven today, the amount of Satan, that exists there, or more than 20 times bigger, larger than what we have in on our planet. But eventually, at the end of the day, they will rise in wisdom and knowledge and power. But it do take time, but they have to be willing to leave that Satan character that they exhibit. So the topic for today was just to expound a little bit more about who and what is Satan. We have an OAPSI verses. You could just subscribe to the YouTube video, and then look all the way down. You see the verses that pertain to who and what Satan is. Satan is nothing more than uh, what we humans exhibit as far as like our character goes. If you exhibit an evil character, if you kill, if you rape, those are just Satan. Those are Satan attributes. And if you oppose the will of the Creator, you refuse to profess the Creator, you don't accept the Creator, those are Satan. So there are lists of what Satan is, but at the end of the day, Satan is just not a human being or spirit or an angel sitting in a throne somewhere and then committing evil or no. Anyone is Satan. And how do you know that? Is that person does not profess the ever present. The person do not follow the commandments of the Creator. Those are Satan. So we have millions and billions of Satan out there today. Angels, evil spirits, demonic spirits, familiar spirits, those are all Satan. That's because they refuse to resurrect themselves. They've went against the ways of the resurrection, because resurrection is a system and they refuse to follow that system. Satan. Now, humans are also Satan too, because we humans are also supposed to be resurrected ourselves. You just don't wait till you get to heaven to resurrect yourself. We start here. Then when we cross over, we continue that. So Satan is a title, but it's a title given to those who opposes the will of the Creator. Another definition of Satan is leadership. Satan or those who humans who or angels who always strive, who always want to be a leader. They don't want to serve others. You see others who are in spiritual ignorance and you just ignore and you don't want to lift them up. Those are Satan too. A perfect example is that you have some people who have the light in them and they're refusing to share that light with another. That's another example of Satan. Um, the OFC College University will be putting up other videos. One of the upcoming video that we're going to be putting up is what is the difference between a Lord and a God. We already have a presentation video about that showing the verses from the OFC Bible, but we're also going to do a live broadcast about it, explaining what the difference of what a Lord and a God is. Another upcoming topics will be what is a Lord God. There's a big difference between the Lord God and the Lord and also God. So these three titles are three different functions. So we're going to expand more on it. We put up a live broadcast about who and what God is. Go to our YouTube videos and you see what a God is. And we also put up a video about what is an angel. And that also explains, what we humans become after we die. We become an angel after that. Now we finishing this YouTube video right now that's just basically giving you a basic understanding about who and what Satan is. Satan is just a title, and at the end of the day, is for those who have self desire in them and refuses to follow the ways of resurrection. And it's also those who opposes the commandments of the Creator. Um, and another definition for Satan would be those who know the truth and they refuse to share the truth. They put the truth in them and, decided not to share it with among others or share the light. That's another definition of Satan. Because the funny thing about that is that you could be under influence of a Juja spirits of darkness, and those are also a perfect example of Satan. Use resurrection. So if you have the light in you and you have the truth in you and you refuse to share it, there's a possibility you're under the influence of a spirit of darkness. Because why do you refuse to share that light? You should share the light, especially if you know the truth. Um, in our future video, we also gonna explain um, another odd topic. So one of the questions that came via email was that what is evil? We're gonna discuss that. According to OAPSI, we don't call anyone evil. We call them unripe. They're just unripe, undelivered, unripe. We're going to talk about that because that question did come via email, and the particular person wanted to know what is evil and how did evil come about. Today's topic was just to give an overview and expound more about what is Satan. Satan is not a human being or a spirit or an angel or God sitting somewhere on a throne and inflicting evil on others. No, anyone can be Satan. We have millions and billions of Satan out there today. Angels are Satan, humans are Satan. The way you know them is when they refuse resurrection or refuse to follow the commandment of the Creator. That's how you know who Satan's are. So Satan is just a title that is given to humans or angels that refuses resurrection. In the future, we're gonna have a special edition about who and what Satan is, where other faiths like myself, we expound more on this, so that people could get more idea about who and what Satan is. Um, Today was just a brief uh, broadcast about who and what Satan is. Um, Also, we also going to be putting up a video in the future about what is OAPSI College University. The short form for that is OCU, and we're going to explain what exactly OAPSI College University is. Majority of people don't understand what OAPSI College University is, but the primary core factor of what OAPSI College University is to uh, teach humans and spirits and angels, because as I'm speaking, angels and spirits are listening to me, about the OAPSI. Um, OAPSI renders up accurate information about our history and what happens in heaven, when primarily when humans die. So in the future, we're going to explain what is OAPSI College University so that people could understand exactly what the purpose is. Our purpose is to teach from the OAPSI Bible, and we teach humans, and it's up to them to believe or not. And we also teach spirit, because as I'm broadcasting this video, spirits are listening to me, and we also teach angels. In fact, we also teach gods and goddesses, because they're actually listening to this broadcast, and they're watching the broadcast and listening to what I'm saying. So the purpose is to lift humans, spirits, angels, and gods out of spiritual ignorance. Um, if you want to subscribe to our YouTube video, just click on the subscription button. And then if you want to view more videos, just click on the video tab, and you'll see more about other videos. Light and peace, brothers and sisters.